Hi, welcome. My name is Bella. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, this channel is all about making altruism more accessible to all. In so many words, this means that if you're interested in service or want to make a positive impact in the world, you are in the right place. Feel free to stick around by pressing the subscribe button. Today, I am going to be introducing you lovely folks to some dog-related volunteer opportunities. I've ranked them in order from least involved to most involved. So we're going to start off by talking about how to make dog treats and dog toys from home. Next up, how to work directly with dogs, both in and out of the shelter. Next, fostering. And last but not least, how to organize your own fundraiser. So the very first opportunity is making dog toys and dog treats. It's the perfect opportunity for COVID times because it can be done from the safety of your home and it involves minimal human contact. So, deciding whether or not to make the dog toys, the dog treats, my 2 cents on the matter. With making dog toys, the materials that you need can usually be found around the house. I have 2 different types of dog toys that I will be talking about in my video today, and they require, at the very least, just an old t-shirt and a pair of scissors. If you want to get a little more fancy with it, then you'll need a tennis ball as well. If you choose to make dog treats, you are most likely going to have to make a trip to the grocery store, but it involves baking, which is 100% one of my favorite things. So I'll leave you with that and you can make your own decision. Once you've decided on which activity you'd like to pursue, it's time to choose where you'd like to donate your items. It can be frustrating if you make your items and then can't find a shelter that will accept them. So this is why I stress the importance of putting this before the process of actually making your goods. Personally, I like to support no-kill shelters. These shelters try their best to save every single animal possible. They only use euthanasia as a last resort when animals are suffering from an irreparable, there we go, medical or behavioral condition. The website nokillnetwork.org will help you locate no-kill shelters in your area. If you're in St. Louis, Stray Rescues of St. Louis is my go-to. To confirm the shelter of your choice will accept your donated goods, I would recommend giving them a call or shooting them an email. The message might sound something like, "Greetings. I am interested in donating some homemade dog toys to your shelter and wanted to confirm you'll accept these items. Thank you, Bella." Simple as that. If this step makes you a little bit nervous, a strategy that my mom taught me is to identify the realistic worst case outcome. What's the worst thing that they could say? No. If you are worried about getting turned down, I would recommend making dog toys instead of dog treats because shelters are a little more willing to accept them. Once you have completed all of these steps and found a shelter willing to accept your homemade goods, it is time to dive into the actual process of making these things. As far as dog treat making, I don't have a lot of advice. You can turn to the internet and find dozens of different recipes for homemade dog treats. Down the road, I will be uploading a video of Lita taste testing some different dog treat recipes that I attempt before we donate them to a local shelter. As far as the dog toy making, I do have some awesome advice. So I'm gonna get myself set up and I am gonna show you guys how to make 2 different variations of dog toys from home. The materials that you'll need are, for our most basic one, you're gonna need an old t-shirt and a pair of scissors. And then if you wanna get a little bit fancy with it, you can grab yourself some tennis balls. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay guys, so I'm officially set up. I have my t-shirt here, my scissors here, and for my next project, I've got some tennis balls here. Okay, so I have the bottom portion of my shirt here. First, I am going, oh shoot. Okay, well your first step is supposed to be lining up the seams, but this shirt does not have any side seams. So I'm just gonna make sure it's laid out nice and flat and line everything up to the best of my ability. Okay, so this is pretty lined up for me. I'm pretty happy with it. So what you're gonna do is you are gonna start by cutting across. For this first one, we're gonna be making braided strips. So we're gonna make a bunch of little strips. Boom. And then just to make my job a little easier, and because I have super duper nice scissors, I am a knitter and a crocheter, so my parents got me these scissors for Christmas a little bit ago, and they are like official fabric scissors. If you don't have as nice scissors, I would recommend just leaving it flat and going through one by one, but I am just gonna use these to the best of their ability. So I'm making little strips, and when you unfold them, they're nice and long, and these are going to be used for braiding. And you can make them, they can be pretty thin because you can double up. That's what my plan is. So I'm going to try and make 6 strips. So I've got 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yay. Okay, so now that I've got all my little strips done, I'm gonna get them all out, lay them down together. Boom, boom. And then you are gonna need a little strap to tie them together at the top and the bottom. And because neither of these designs use the sleeves of the shirt, I am going to be going to the sleeves of the shirt for those little strips. And I'm literally just gonna bam, bam. Okay, so let's get rid of the t-shirt. And so these are the materials we have. We have our 2 strips to tie, and we have 6 strips to do this. Now, it would be a little more pretty if I had different colors, but since I'm making these for my own dog and she doesn't care, and I don't really care that much either, I am just gonna be using all the same strips, all the same color strips. So you wanna get the tops kind of lined up, and then you're gonna use one of your tying strips to tie them all together. And you wanna go pretty tight at the top here. You don't want your dog to be able to pull it out. My dog, she's small, but she is a strong one, so super duper tight. Bam. And then you're gonna start braiding. Okay, so for those of you who, well, I guess I'm gonna try my best to teach you all how to braid. So you have 6 different strips. So here's 1, here's 2. You're gonna get them into groups of 2. So here's one group of 2. We got 2 little strings here. Here's my second group of 2, and here's my third group of 2. So you always work in 3s when you braid. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your one on the right outside, and you're gonna cross it over and bring it in the middle. And then you're gonna bring your one on the left outside, and you're gonna bring it in the middle again. So this is how you braid. It's all about just moving those outer loops to the inside. So bam, bam. Uh-oh, don't cross them a bunch. Okay, there we go. And then you do want to do this pretty tightly. So in order to get it tight, I'm just going to try and tighten it through the process. But, oh wait, I lost track. Okay, bam, bam. And you're just going to kind of tighten it like that. So bam, 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 bam. And then bam. It isn't very tight. So I'm gonna get creative. I'm gonna use my mouth. So I got nice and tight, and at the very end, I'm going to use my other one to give it a nice tie at the end. Bam. Bam. Okay, so my friends, my lovely, lovely friends, this is our first dog toy. Look at that. Amazing. I cannot wait to bring it home and show it to my baby Lita. I'm sure she's gonna love it. Oh my gosh, and it was so simple. Like, did you see that, guys? My camera literally says that I filmed this little clip in 6 minutes and 44 seconds. So quick, easy, made out of materials that you can find around your home. I love it. Okay, so we are on to design number 2. I got my big extra large t-shirt back here. And what we're gonna do is we are just gonna cut off the sleeves. So I'm gonna line it up again. Try and get it nice and, well, I guess I'm gonna hold it like this to cut it so I get right along those sleeves. We're gonna go ahead and cut off those sleeves. Okay, bam. So I have my sleeves cut off, and now, so we want to end up with big swatches. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait to cut down there, but at the bottom of my sleeves, I'm going to make a big cut across. And I think this is actually all that we're gonna need, because we just need 2 big swatches. So I'm gonna cut down the middle of these. Bam. And just to make sure I really get it in the middle. And we'll go ahead and cut here again. Okay. And this is the design that you'll need a tennis ball for. So you can go ahead and grab that while you have the moment now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lay it down. Bam, there we go. So lay it down flat. And then you're gonna lay your other swatch across it perpendicular. So try and make the cross like right in the middle. Bam. Okay. Bam. And then what you're gonna do, just want to make sure that my candle wasn't burning anything. It smelled like it was. You're gonna put your tennis ball right in the middle. And then you're gonna take these up, and you're gonna take another little piece of fabric and tie it there. So this is where our beautiful collars are going to come into play again. I'm going to cut another little swatch. This is actually looking kind of janky, so there we go. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have to be beautiful, folks. So grab your other one, and you are going to go ahead and tie right at the bottom of that tennis ball, as tight as you can, because remember, dogs are strong. So tie it tight as you can, and then you have 4 different strips. What we're gonna do is we want to braid every one of these strips. So take one little swatch at a time and cut it into 3, up as far as you can. So cut into 3 again. And just like last time, we're gonna braid it. And you can even just pull it if that scissor isn't getting high enough up for you. So then we're gonna braid just like last time. And it is a little easier. You got something big at the end to help you. Oh, there we go. To help hold it, but go ahead and braid it nice and tight. Boom, boom. Okay, I'm getting to the end. So at the end, we're gonna use our swatches again to tie it off. I'm gonna cut this in half. Bam. Beautiful. Look at that. 1 down. So we're gonna do that to all 4. It's gonna look like a little octopus thing. Okay, so let's move on to our next swatch now. Yay! Okay. I found that if you hold it a little, the ball will give you some weight to get a nice tight braid going. Okay. Beautiful. I'm gonna put my elbow on that to keep it. And let's cut this baby down. Okay, last strip of fabric. Finishing up my last little tentacle braid. And I am done. Look at this little dude. He's so cute. All the little tentacles for him to pull on. Look at these two. Oh my goodness. Okay, I am so proud. So happy with how these turned out. So, let's see if I can turn. Oh, I don't think I can. There we go. That, my friends, is how you can make two really, really simple, really easy, really quick dog toys from home. And if you find a shelter that will accept these goods, then you've got yourself a really fun at-home activity to battle boredom and make a positive impact in your community. I hope you guys choose to take advantage of this opportunity. And if this doesn't spark your interest, then we can just go ahead and dive right on into some more volunteer opportunities that are dog related. Next up, we have working directly with dogs in and out of shelters. I do know I phrased this opportunity a little strangely. Originally, it was meant to just cover volunteering in shelters, but a lot of shelters don't accept volunteers under the age of 16. And as previously mentioned, this channel is all about introducing volunteer opportunities available to all ages. The alternative in question is offering your services to neighbors directly. I can admit, as it gets colder, my motivation to walk Lita does dwindle. In particular, I would recommend offering your services to elderly neighbors and new parents. That initial point of contact might sound something like this. Yes, we do have to use the microphone again. Greetings, my name is Bella DeArmond. I live in insert neighborhood name here as well, and I wanted to offer my services to you and insert pet name here. As it gets colder, I am available to walk pet name here once a week, preferably on the weekends. Let me know if that works for you or if there's any other way that I can be of assistance. Thank you so much, Bella. Maybe even include a phone number, something like that. And again, the worst case scenario is they say no. So if you want to directly reach out to anyone that you know, this is the way to go about it. But if you don't have anyone in mind, there's some different social media platforms that will help you get on the right track. First off, Nextdoor. Nextdoor is a platform that helps connect neighborhood communities. So that's an awesome route to go. And you can make an account when you're pretty young. So you can go ahead and swing on by there. And then my next recommendation would be Facebook. A lot of cities, a lot of communities have smaller Facebook groups to just cover everything going on in their area. So if you're able to, try and mosey your way in there. Before going about any of these though, and just contacting strangers or people you don't necessarily know that well, I would consult a parent or a trusted adult just to make sure that they approve of the way you're going about this. Okay, so that's your second alternative to working directly with dogs. For those of you able to volunteer in shelters, prepare yourself for some hard but rewarding work. A lot of shelters will utilize volunteers to clean shelters, feed and water animals, socialize animals, and walk dogs. Again, my favorite no-kill shelter in St. Louis is Stray Rescues of St. Louis. I'm going to take a second and walk you guys through the entire volunteer registration process now. Okay, my beautiful people. So I have the Stray Rescue St. Louis's webpage pulled up, and I'm looking at it right now. You're looking at it too. I am going to go to the volunteer little drop down, and I'm going to press fill out an application. Now, at the moment, Stray Rescue of St. Louis and a lot of other shelters are not accepting volunteers, like it says right here. I actually signed up and I filled out the volunteer form, but I wasn't able to get in for an orientation before the new year. So I signed up for an orientation And then I got an email that said, hey, we're not going to be taking in any new volunteers until the new year. So we'll resend you a schedule to sign up for orientation after January 1st. We look forward to working with you. So right now, they are not taking on new people. They're not bringing new people into the shelter. But for the time being, you can still go ahead and fill out the volunteer form. It's a bunch of pretty basic information. So all this is going to be basic. And then when they get down here, they're going to ask, are you able to independently make and follow visual and verbal directives? Are you physically able to lift 20 to 30 pounds? Are you able to independently make and follow quick decisions, which require both mental and physical dexterity? Is there anything else you would like Stray Rescue to know about you? This is where I took the opportunity to just talk about my past with project dogs and my passion for working with animals who have a history of abuse and neglect. So if you have any experience like that, any special skills, feel free to mention it there. And then last but not least, how did you hear about Stray Rescue? You don't have to mention me. Like, you can just say online, YouTube, something like that. But that right there is the volunteer application form. Once you submit this, we're just going to pretend. So once you fill all that jazz out, once you submit it, they'll send you an email to schedule your volunteer orientation. You will go ahead and fill out when you're available. You'll sign up for one of the shifts. And then I have had friends who've gone through the experience. They described that it was just a basic orientation. You get showed around the shelter, you get some dog handling basics, and then you'll have the opportunity directly after your orientation to actually start volunteering. And then once you go through that volunteer orientation, you can swing by their shelter any day. So Monday through Friday. I'll see if I can find their times on here. But you can swing by basically whenever they're opened, from what I heard. So open daily, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I don't know if they're going to welcome volunteers for that whole time, but it's a pretty nice amount of that time. So this is a wonderful opportunity where you will be pretty socially distanced. You might have to interact with people within the shelter to just get set up, but it's good for COVID times. It's a wonderful way to get outside and get some physical exercise. And, oh my goodness, you're going to be helping dogs. How can you forget about that? Okay, so that is a little run through on how to sign up to volunteer with the Stray Rescue of St. Louis. I hope you found this helpful. For those of you not in St. Louis, I imagine the process will look pretty similar. Just remember to utilize nokillnetwork.org to find no-kill shelter animals in your area. The next most involved volunteer opportunity after directly working with animals is going to be fostering. As we discussed, there is a great demand for foster homes, but I urge you to make sure that this is the right decision for you and for the dog. Fostering takes a lot of time, energy, and patience. For more advice and insight, I would recommend checking out the video that I'll be releasing next week. The more intense volunteer opportunities that I'm referring to are events that you put together yourself. Personally, I have organized bake sales for local shelters, and I've also put together a Porch Drop donation drive. This is the one that I'm going to be talking about a little more because it is, in my opinion, very effective, and it also is COVID friendly, which is the most important factor. So a Porch Drop donation drive, your role as the organizer is to make the act of donating as simple for people as possible. This means you're going to be letting them know what items you're collecting them, when you're collecting them, and all you ask of them is to let you know that they have donations. Then you come pick up the donations and bring them to the shelter. So that's what it is, and just like a little boiled down version, and I'll be walking you guys through step by step how to organize this. Your very first objective is going to be getting people into the loop. You want to let them know what you're collecting, when you're collecting it, how they can get into contact with you, and what the items are going to be doing, what good they'll be doing by donating. So me personally, in order to get people in the loop, I made little tiny flyers and I passed them door to door in my neighborhood. You can also pursue virtual advertising through Nextdoor, which is a platform I mentioned earlier in this video. So you can use Nextdoor, you can use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any social media you like really to get the word out. Your next objective is contacting donors and helping organize them and their pickup. So people are going to be reaching out to you saying, hey, I'm interested in donating. How should I go about this? And your job is to come up with a plan to collect their donation and get it to the shelter. In order to do this, I utilized a spreadsheet. I would keep track of their name, their address, where they originally contacted me. Was it through email? Was it through Nextdoor or Facebook? Just so that I could access our communication better. And then I tried to, based on where they live, coordinate a pickup for all people in that area. Your final objective is getting the donations from the home to the shelter. So carry out your pickups, get all the donations, and bring them to the shelter. You most likely, if you rock this out, if you put your time, your energy, your heart, your soul into this, you might need a big car. So try and get a friend with a big car. I personally, my most successful Porch Drop donation drive, I was able to collect 2 full carloads just by myself. So if you put your time and your energy into this, it can be as big as you want it to be. Yeah, but that's the very last step. After that, you just get to sit down and celebrate the hard work that you did and the results that you were able to make. Before I end this video, I do want to let you know down the road, I will be releasing a video describing how I organized my most successful Porch Drop donation drive step by step and how you can do it too. So look out for that. But other than that, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned some new things about ways that you can get involved in dog-related volunteer opportunities. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to voice them in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you guys all have a lovely day. Bye.